Unfortunately, income thresholds used to measure poverty in the United States remain much too low, so many.
That amount is larger than normal because of an additional energy relief benefit that required eligible residents to have applied by March 31st. The energy relief portion of the payout is non-taxable, and many eligible residents have already received their payments. But if you applied later, you should check to see your check by the end of the month. Because even the Colorado governor has said that state legislators announced plans that they would see and help ease property tax increases. It's an effort to help homeowners and businesses in Colorado. The plan would reduce the residential assessment rate from 7.5 to 6.5%, so it makes things a little bit easier for the people that are suffering the most with stimulus checks. But still, this is not enough. We have a ton of news about the fourth stimulus check, Social Security benefits, SSI, and SSDI. Continue watching this video because you don't want to miss out on this important information. There's a lot of news that you guys have to know. An important date that millions of Americans need to be aware of is coming up very soon. The federal government is preparing to issue the next round of direct payments, and that'll be worth nearly $1,000. Details are finally being finalized on the loan forgiveness program. And month after month, the Social Security Administration sends out monthly benefits to retired workers. In addition to that, Social Security is responsible for sending supplemental security income benefits, disability, and survivor benefits. While the May payments continue, it is going to be worth knowing who will receive their money in the first days of June. SSI recipients are eligible for a maximum benefit of $1,000 a month and $1,300 for a married couple, where both spouses are eligible for the program. But it's important to mention that the payments are calculated individually and vary from one beneficiary to another. SSI recipients receive their payments on the first day of each month, or if the first day falls on a weekend or holiday. The payment is moving forward to the earliest business days of the previous month, and those who begin receiving their Social Security payments before the month can receive benefits every single time. So folks, just know this. Based on the scheduling, the SSI recipients will receive their June payment on June 1st. In addition to that, SSI will send a second payment on June 30th, which corresponds to the July check, since the first day of that month is Saturday, and the payment date will be brought forward. But if the U.S. breaches the debt ceiling and defaults on its debt, there could be significant implications for Social Security beneficiaries. The debt ceiling represents the max amount of money the U.S. government can borrow, and if it's not raised or eliminated, the government may not have enough funds to meet its financial obligations, including Social Security payments. Experts warn that in such a scenario, Social Security checks may be delayed. The National Committee to Preserve Social Security and Medicare has cautioned that, without a debt limit increase, Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, and other payments may not be made on time and in full. It means that beneficiaries could experience a delay in receiving their benefits. And while the fate of President Biden's student loan forgiveness program remains up in the air, borrowers should definitely expect to resume payments before the end of August. Because even the Education Secretary has confirmed their repayment date during a Senate Appropriations hearing. The emergency period is over, and we're preparing our borrowers to restart. The Biden administration plans to restart the student loan payments no later than 60 days after June 30th. Based on that schedule, you can expect to resume payments on or before August 29th. Payments have been paused since March 2020 during the early days of the crisis, and there had been speculation that the Biden administration may try to extend the pause yet again, especially if the forgiveness plan gets struck down by the U.S. Supreme Court, but that's no longer on the table.
Madam Speaker, I reserve the balance of my time.
The gentleman reserves. The gentlewoman from North Carolina is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I yield myself such time as I may consume.
Price of a drug is, and how it counts against one's deductible is a major frustration. Is not only is a frustration for me, but it's also a frustration, I think, for many.
We're providing $55 million in bonuses to our hourly frontline associates.
From a fire hall in Claymont, Delaware. And the expression is, God made man, then he made a few firefighters. You're all crazy, thank God. The only people who run into flames to help other people.
The report conducted in mid-July found that 79% of retiree correspondents said that prices on housing, food, and prescriptions are higher now than they were 1 year ago. And seniors generally spent about half of their income on housing, including maintenance, repairs, and insurance for even owning a home. The second thing that they're spending money on is groceries, with some goods prices higher than others, like wheat. Now, medical and prescription costs are also in the top 3, since the CPIW does not even survey those 62 years and older. It doesn't even include the cost of Medicare Part B premiums. Inflation has an overall big impact on non-retired workers due to modest pay increases. Gas prices have also seen an increase, and as of Friday, the national gas average is $3.87. Recipients of Social Security and SSI can expect a new payment soon, because the payments are not always sent on the first of the month, as long as it doesn't fall on a weekend or holiday. The maximum SSI payment this year is $914. That's if both spouses are eligible for the program, you get $1,400. And while the average amount is $550, you can receive an additional amount if you live in one of the 33 states that boost benefits. The exact amount of boosted benefits varies by state. And New York offers an example of $104 a month for couples, while Alabama gives SSI recipients an extra $120 boost. During more to accelerate is actually going to permit for renewables and was a recurring theme among congressional Democrats in interviews over recent weeks. Democrat Ed Markey said he wanted to try again to secure funding for the proposed Civilian Climate Corps. That is a green jobs training and placement program that Joe Biden supported during his White House bid. Even Senate Democrat Brian Schwartz said that Congress needs to pay renewed attention to boosting funding for geothermal energy, and Senate Agriculture Chair Debbie Stabenow is urging colleagues to continue fighting for a price on carbon dioxide pollution. It's something that lawmakers pushed for during last year's negotiations. And though Chuck Schumer has said that the Inflation Reduction Act would certainly meet its goals of reducing carbon emissions by 40%, the law doesn't achieve the emissions reduction goals necessary to prevent the worst effects of the climate crisis. Even Tina Smith, who championed a clean electricity program, said the program would be very valuable towards achieving our emissions goals for consumers. She noted that the program had a lot of Democratic support, but not enough. Advocates saw the clean electricity incentives as a centerpiece to meeting Biden's emission goals. Joe Manchin, with the Senate Energy Chair and fossil fuel advocate, provided the crucial role for the Inflation Reduction Act. He ultimately dealt those incentives with the final blow. But first of all, everybody, I think Joe Biden should get the job done and send us stimulus payments before it gets too late. Now, there's big news. The Federal Reserve is actually requiring more interest rate hikes in order to control the rising rate of inflation. Now, this is a way to control inflation, and this is a way to help people in America. But most Federal Reserve officials last month still regard high inflation as an ongoing threat, and that could require further interest rate increases. At the same time, the officials saw a number of tentative signs that inflation pressures could be abating. There was a mixed view that echoed Chair Jerome Powell's non-committal stance about future rate hike. Now, everybody, it's